Welcome to my podcast. Today's question: what is real strength? Some people in your life want to harm you. They want to make your life miserable. They want to do all those things that can make you feel low. Their ultimate goal is to finish you, to kill you, and to give justification to their vicious motives. They are ready to go to any extent. But this is not something that is happening just with you. It has also happened with the Buddha. Even the most pious, the most divine masters were not left in peace. Jesus was tortured to death. Prophet Muhammad was ridiculed and forced to leave the city of Mecca. Lord Rama was forced to go to exile. The most divine masters whose teachings are followed by millions and millions of faithful followers were not shown mercy. So how can you be left alone? That is not possible. Along with positivism, negativism also exists in this universe. It is a hard truth that we must face. God can exist without evil, whereas evil cannot exist without good. Buddha also had to face this truth. One day, a man came to kill him. Buddha was sitting under a tree, engrossed in his deep meditation, and there was silence, total silence. And in this divine silence, the sound of the cool breeze, the chirping of the birds, the soothing sound of the river water was heard. When you become silent, you are able to hear the unheard, the divine. Engrossed in his deep meditation, Buddha looked gracious in his lotus posture. Everything was divine. And amidst this beautiful moment, this man came and said, "Buddha, I have come to kill you." Buddha opened his eyes. There was no sign of him being disturbed. No one can disturb the masters. And so Buddha smiled and said, "If that is so, then you must fulfill my dying wish." The man said, "What is it?" Buddha said, "Cut off the branch of that tree." Immediately it was done. "What now?" asked the man. "Put it back again," said the Buddha. "Are you crazy? Are you mad or something? You are a fool. How can you even think that this can be done? It is total madness," the man replied. And Buddha smiled and said, "Young man, on the contrary, you are being foolish by thinking that you are mighty and can destroy. That is the task of ignorant children, of people living in total unconsciousness. The weak know how to destroy and kill. The mighty know how to create and heal. Decide what you are before you stab me with that knife." There was so much of grace, so much of depth in those words of Buddha that they moved his heart, and the young man, for the first time in his life, knelt to the ground. He had the freedom to kill Buddha, but his hands would not move. His legs would not move. If at all there was anything that was moving, it was his heart. When consciousness arrives, the heart awakens. And then there is no stopping. There is no looking back. You are transformed into something beautiful, just the way an ugly looking caterpillar is transformed into a beautiful butterfly. Now the man felt lighter. There was no hate, no heaviness in his heart. The ugliness was gone and the beautiful had arrived. The divine had arrived. He knelt to the ground. He could no longer control his feelings and he started crying. With every drop of tear, he came closer to God, closer to the Buddha. Buddha took him by the hand and helped him to his feet and then patted him on his back. The man started confessing. He said, "All my life I have been rejected. People hated me because of my race, my religion. They would never let me live a normal life. They forced me to become like this. They forced me into a hell that I never wished to be a part of. And so I started hating everybody around me. And the day I came to know that you have come to this village, I came to disturb you, to kill you. But when I met you, when I heard you, I could feel something that I had never felt in my heart. I could feel love. Your words are so deep, so divine, that you have touched my heart. I have never seen such a divine man. I have never met someone who does not fear death. You are different. You are divine. I could feel the grace of your omnipresence. I could feel the love you have shown towards me, and I could sense the message you have provided me with. I have realized my foolishness. I have been considering myself the mightiest person, but now I have realized that my might is only limited to killing and destroying, and you have made me realize that is not what might is. I cannot put the broken branch back to where it was, and I was considering myself mighty. I don't want a might which cannot heal but can only kill. I came to kill you, but your divine words and grace have killed the very evil that was within me. I am now reborn, and I feel so light, so good. Never in my life have I been so happy. Never in my life have I been so content. You have given me a new birth, and I will never leave you now. My Lord, I will be with you forever. Now I want to become your disciple. I want to learn. I want to heal, for I have realized that true might is not in killing but in healing. And with these words, the man renounced everything that he had. He became a monk. It is said that this man became one of the greatest lovers of Buddha the world had ever known. Until the very last moment, this man continued to serve the Master. No one knew his real name, but those who knew him called him Sevak. Sevak means the serving monk, because every time he was found serving the Buddha. When Buddha left this material world, if there was anyone who felt the deepest pain in his heart, if there were eyes that cried the most tears, then they were his. A hater becomes a lover. How touching and wonderful is this! The man who had come to kill the Buddha became one of the greatest lovers of Buddha. The greatest transformation happens when divine grace is felt in your heart. That is the greatest transformation. The greatest blessing one could ever have in his human life is this. When there is a change of heart, everything starts changing in your life. Then the trees look greener, the chirping of the birds sounds sweeter, and life becomes a garden of bliss. Man's nature is not essentially evil. Brute nature has been known to yield to the influence of love. You must never despair of human nature. Those who are trying to harm you are like ignorant children. They don't know what they are doing to themselves by being negative and destructive. Some people create their own storms and then get upset when it rains. The true mark of maturity is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. Always remember, the Savior is more potent than the destroyer. No matter how hard your enemy tries to harm you, if you are walking the path of righteousness, you are going to be fine. Hurting and causing harm is the job of a weak person, because that is all that he or she can do. It is the ultimate sign of his unconsciousness, his ignorance, and his foolishness. Sooner or later, such a person is going to pay heavily for his or her deeds. Mighty is the Lord who heals you, who motivates you, who inspires you to rise. The weak know how to destroy and kill, the mighty knows how to create and heal. Buddha says, decide for yourself with whom you want to be, which side you want to focus on. When you focus on the weak side, you are going to become weaker and fearful. The enemy is fear. We think it is hate, but it is fear. When you focus on the Almighty, you are going to feel stronger and fearless. Fearlessness means faith in God, faith in His protection, His justice, His wisdom, His mercy, His love, and His omnipresence. To be fit for self-realization, man must be fearless. No man chooses evil because it is evil. He only mistakes it for happiness and the good he seeks. And in this journey of achieving happiness at the cost of others, he is eventually pulled into the deep oceans of misery. Such men are always found to be unhappy because their focus is not on their self-development but on others' destruction. Wise men never entertain negative people. Wise men connect wisely, and the moment they see negativity, they are quick to disconnect cleverly. Fools take a knife and stab people in the back. The wise take a knife, cut the cord, and set themselves free from the fools. With our thoughts we make the world. Your happiness is totally based on your state of mind, and it is necessary that the mind is focused on the good, the positive, because what you think is what you are going to be, and happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Real strength is not in bullying or killing, but in nurturing, encouraging, motivating, and bringing a positive change. Foolish people, selfish people are always thinking of themselves, and the result is always negative. Wise people think of others, helping them as much as they can, and the result is happiness. Love and compassion are beneficial both for you and the others. Through your kindness to others, your mind and heart will open to peace. Let there be more and more peace to your life. Meditate.